Hey, yo, what's up, folks? My name is Marv. This is my first social blog, or vlog, excuse me. I'm pretty much going to be talking about social issues, things that need to go on the political spectrum and on the social spectrum, especially when it comes to black people. I'm going to be very upfront. I am very pro-black. But being pro-black does not mean I hate anyone else. When it comes to being pro-black has one group of people we have to essentially fight against, or one system that we essentially have to fight against, and that's the system of white supremacy. And white supremacy is very layered. You know what I mean? Within white supremacies, there's coons, there's bedwenches. That's within the black community. Then we also got to deal with the white supremacists, white extremists, things of that nature. Suspected white supremacists, race soldiers posing as cops, things of that nature. So it's going to be many things that come to my attention that I feel like it's important that I dissect and break down for people. So I feel like I might as well go ahead and do this vlog to get that point across on top of my podcast. So a lot of times when I do these vlogs, I am going to also upload it straight to my podcast. So some people are going to be listening to this. Some people are going to be watching it. But I appreciate, no matter what you're doing, to please like, share, and subscribe. That'd be very important. That'll help me out a lot. I would be truly humbled, especially if I'm saying things that you agree or disagree with. I would love response videos or response tweets. My Instagram, my Facebook is _itsmarv, ITSMARV. So I really appreciate if you go ahead and do that. But let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about, it's been a lot of things going on. So if you don't know, I am actually a part of 3 different podcasts. Marv's World, I said it and I meant it, and Trap Nerd. I am the producer on each podcast, and I'm also a co-host on each podcast, except Marv's World is specifically by me, and that's a podcast where I talk about political, social, and entertainment news. So it's all those things. As well. So this vlog actually is going to be uploaded to the Marv's World podcast page. So I'm going to have the audio of this vlog for Marv's World, and then I'm also going to have the video. All right, I just had to check and make sure I was recording. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the first thing I want to discuss is we're going to get into net neutrality. I'm going to kind of save that for last. Well, I am going to save that for last, but it's a couple topics I want to talk about. The first one is a grandmother. A grandmother made her grandchildren ride in a dog kennel for a half-hour drive, right? Now, this lady, her name is Lamomi Cheeks. She actually looks like she's a biracial white and Asian descent woman. She's 62. And she has obviously biracial black children. And there was a video that went around that I posted on, let's see, is it on the It's Marv page? Let's see. Yes, the video is on It's Marv's page. There's a video, as you can see, of a little black girl, clearly she's black, getting out of a dog kennel and getting onto the whatchamacallit. Getting out of the back of a truck out of a dog kennel and getting on a getting and walking on the curb, like a little girl literally getting out of a dog kennel, treated like an animal. And it's a viral video. It happened out in Memphis, Tennessee. Police did arrest her for child endangerment, but it's something interesting that happened in that arrest that really concerned me, which, you know, this is how the type of stuff that gets down. So what happened was, it was an affidavit where the woman was driving around with her 2 black grandchildren. It ended up being 2 black grandchildren in that dog kennel. So in the report, it says when she arrived home and police was already there, the children were seated on the back seat. So this woman purposely put her grandchildren in cages. It says the charges, listen to the charges though. The charges are misdemeanor, and she was released on a $100 bond. So you put your children into dog kennels and you get released on a $100 bond. This is a prime example, and it's going to be a recurring theme that I talk about anytime I see something pop up in the news, anything that comes across my desk. If you see anything, tag me in it. If you feel like I need to know about something, tag me in it. even if it's funny, even if it's serious topics, whatever. Tag me in it because I want to also spread this information on my platform as well. I think it's a thing. I'm a media production major. I'm finishing up school after taking quite a few years off, and I was in the Air Force, things of that nature. I'm gonna give y'all my story in another vlog, but I'm gonna do that for y'all and tell y'all my story. I think it's important I tell my story, and I want to do it in the form of a vlog. So that's what I do. I'm a media guy. So things that happen in the media, things that involve media, I'm all over it. So this lady, and I'm also I'm a law buff. I love the law. I love to study the law. I love to break down the law, and I love to challenge the law. So just because something is a law don't mean it's right. But she gets out on $100 bond. Now, this is the typical thing that happens when it comes to black children. Black children are not protected under the system of white supremacy. Black people are not protected under the system of white supremacy. So what white supremacy like to do is go after our weak and vulnerable. So just because you're vulnerable don't mean you're weak. It just means for instance, children are vulnerable. Technically, you can say they're weak, whatever, but they go after our weak and vulnerable. So they go after our women, children, and elderly. Those are the 3 targets for white supremacy. They love to physically attack those ones, and then they try to, because they won't try and like go. You usually won't see some random acts of violence of some, 25-year-old black man getting stabbed by a white supremacist. Usually they send the cops to kill those type of guys. When they go after our strong men, they send cops to do that. So they like to go after our women, children, and elderly. So you'll constantly see that, like when a guy drove all the way from Baltimore and stabbed an old black man. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. Dylan Roof went to a church to our praying elderly and women and children. There were some black men in there, but they like to go after. He went there as well. George Zimmerman attacked a 14-year-old child. Tamir Rice was a 12-year-old child. You know what I mean? That was killed by cops. You know what I mean? So Philando Castile was a grown man. You see cops killed him, not some just random white supremacists. So you got to be careful and understand the type of thing that these people do, these white supremacists do, because that's the type of shit that they on. They like to go after our weak and our elderly and our women. You seen when a woman got choked out in Waffle House by cops. You seen when a woman got choked out by the Asian nail owner down in North Carolina. So you're going to see these type of things happen, and we as people have to come together, congregate together, and get rid of this system of white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice. That's something I specifically got from Tariq Nasheed. That to me is the purpose and what we should be doing. We should be looking to get rid of white supremacy and replace it with the system of justice. And the reason why we should do that is because we're not interested in protecting our criminals. We're not interested in protecting our pedophiles, our rapists, our murderers. We're not interested in protecting those people. What we are interested in is when someone do something wrong, or when they don't do anything wrong, justice is served, period. We just want proper justice in this system of white supremacy. We can't get it as long as we remain in the system of white supremacy, because they have to stay supreme. And in order for them to stay supreme, they have to demoralize us, they have to over-sentence us, and under-sentence themselves. So that's the system that happens. Now, there are some outliers, so you always see some outliers, because that's how a system works. There's always going to be cracks in the system. The thing is, we got to break those cracks all the way open and tear down the system. You see what I'm saying? So this lady, I don't understand how she got out on $100 bond. We're going to see how it goes when she goes back to court. I am going to be following this story. It is very important we continue to follow these stories and make sure we see what's going on. You feel me? All right. I know that was long-winded, but I'm excited about this being the first vlog, so it's pretty dope. This is going to be on my new channel. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but again, like, subscribe, share this joint. Give me some thumbs up, like the kids would say. I might have my kids do my intro video. It'd probably be dope. But also Trump is out here pardoning people left and right, dead people. He commuted a sentence of a woman. And he wants to pardon more black people, dead or alive. I'm personally of the ilk when it comes to this. Now, okay, let me first be clear with my stance when it comes to Trump. When it comes to Trump, I don't think he's, how can I word this? Because I think him being president has done good in the black community because it woke people up. Let's just be honest. A lot of y'all have never paid attention to politics. No one cared about politics. Trump gets into the office. Now you're all in. You're starting to learn a few things. You're learning a lot of things. You're starting to realize a lot of things, and you're paying attention to a lot of things. So unfortunately, it took for him to get there, for that to happen. But however it takes, I'll take that as a win when it comes to Trump. Everything else is a loss. I don't see any good coming out of this man. He's doing these symbolic things. I'm not interested in any symbolic victories. I'm not interested in anything symbolic. I want to know real, tangible things. Pardoning dead people does nothing for us. They were heroes to us, whether they were dead, alive, to whether how y'all felt about them in the 60s or how y'all feel about them now. We don't give a fuck. Muhammad Ali was not a person for y'all. And then when he, all of a sudden, later in his career, when he becomes one of our vulnerable and weak, when he becomes elderly and sick, that's vulnerable and weak. When he becomes that, all of a sudden he's an American hero. He's not an American hero. He's a black American hero. He stood up for black people. He stood against white supremacy. And for y'all to sit here and act like he was y'all hero, he did so much for y'all, that's bullshit. Stop it, white supremacists. We don't rock with y'all like that. Now understand, everyone that's white is not a white supremacist, to be completely honest with you. Everyone that's not a white is not a white extremist. Now, when it comes to that, there are people who think they're not white supremacists. Those people are called suspected white supremacists because they do things that are similar to what a white supremacist would do, but we can't all out call them a white supremacist because they ain't full-fledged wearing the shield, wearing the badge on it. But I suspect, based on actions, words, and things of that nature. So, with that being said, Trump is doing these symbolic pardons because what he's trying to do is, there are some people who are on the fence about Trump because they don't want to support Trump because he has this like racist image. He's like a symbol for racism, a symbol for white supremacy, a symbol for white male dominance. So no one wants to support him because they don't want to get that on them as well. They don't want to fuck up their image. They don't want to fuck up their relationships. They don't want to fuck up their friendships. So what Trump is doing is pardoning black people in particular so he can try and get those people that are on the fence to side with him and say, oh, he's not racist, so I'm good. He's not racist. I can publicly support him. I can congratulate him on things that he do. I am not a person who is loyal to any party. I understand this. I should be now, a registered independent political party. I am no longer in a Democratic Party. I registered for Democrat because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And then I started studying these laws, started studying policy, started going over policy, started reading. We literally have to start reading. I started reading and realized the Democratic Party is not good for black people. The Republican Party is not good for black people. So I can't be a part of any party that's not good for my own well-being, that's not good for my people. Now, they have some symbolic victories within these communities. Oh, we did this for you. Oh, we did this for you. But yeah, does that make up for the shit you did against us? It doesn't. They have neither one of these parties that's ever done anything to compensate for the wrongdoing. So people can say, well, it's the past, you gotta let it go, you gotta move on. Well, it's still affecting us today, so fuck you. I'm not moving on until we can heal as an entire community, until we can replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice. It's that simple. I will not move on, I will not let anything go, and I will not let symbolic victories slow me down in no way, shape, or form. It's that simple. Now, with that being said, who is this? It's always some old coon-ass motherfuckers. I'll tell ya. Listen, I'm going to talk about this real quick. About you grateful niggas. And I want y'all to understand, when I say, I'm washing the word nigga out of my vocabulary as a term of endearment. So, like, for example, I won't call my friends my niggas. I won't call people that I love my nigga, what up nigga, nigga this, nigga that. I'm not gonna do that. I want y'all to look at me, when I say nigga, I want y'all to treat it like fuck, shit, bitch, ass, something derogatory. I want you to speak in it as something derogatory. Now, you grateful niggas, y'all getting on my fucking nerves with this shit. I just want to just peel off real quick before I get back to this Trump thing. This grateful nigga mentality that these people have, black people have, disgusts me, and it's boring. I'm gonna start calling y'all suspected coons, because we gotta start calling out these suspected coons. Because when I start smelling that coon talk, when I start hearing that, or what Tyreek like to call it is soft shoeing or tap dancing, which is a good term, but I'm gonna call y'all suspected coons. because or grateful niggas. I think I like grateful niggas better. You grateful niggas is really is some scary niggas, man. Y'all just sit here and think that every black person has to be grateful for everything somebody white do for them. Some little bullshit ass nigga trinket, some little bullshit ass, here, let me give you some crumbs off the plate. Some bullshit like that. We supposed to be overly grateful. You overly grateful niggas get on my nerves with that shit. I think overly grateful works. Yeah, I like overly grateful. You overly grateful niggas get on my nerves with that shit. Stop that, man. We don't have to be grateful for shit. T.O. was getting shitted on. They disrespected him by not putting him in the Hall of Fame first ballot. Hall of Fame is about numbers. It's not about your attitude towards the media. Unfortunately, the media is who vote you in, so maybe you should have a good attitude against them. Maybe you should be nice to the media. But if they not nice to you, then fuck them. They disrespected T.O. all his career, try to make him be a bad guy, painting him out to be a bad guy, say he split up all these locker rooms, but you hear all these players inside the locker room say he's a great teammate, and then you hear the guys who can't even get on the field talking about, well, he caused a distraction in the locker room. How? Motherfucker, you ain't on the field? Shut the fuck up. Like, fuck out of here. His numbers show Hall of Fame. He should have got in first ballot Hall of Fame. He is arguably top 3 wide receiver of all time, and he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Are you kidding me? What the fuck is going on here? So no, T.O., if he decide he don't want to go to Canton, Ohio, just to have to kiss more ass, just to be told he has to bow down because they shitted on him to get him in the Hall of Fame, then fuck that. He don't need to go. He don't need to be an overly grateful nigga. That's y'all problem. Yeah, this nigga T.O. so disrespectful. Oh, he should be respectful. Fuck out of here. They sit here and gave him their ass to kiss. So he's going to do it in return. Fuck that overly grateful nigga shit. You motherfuckers get on my nerves with that, man. Fuck out of here. No, stop being an overly grateful nigga. You don't be overly grateful for crumbs. Fuck out of here. Nah. T.O. earned his Hall of Fame bid. They didn't give him that shit. He earned it on the field. So what the fuck he need to be overly grateful for? Y'all get on my nerves with that shit, man. Stop. I'm calling all y'all out with that shit. If I see you on the internet talking that overly grateful shit, if I see you on in any videos, whatever, I'm calling all y'all out on that. I'm not letting nobody slide through no cracks no more. We done with that shit. It's time to clean house within the black community so we can heal the black community. It's that simple. Now, back to Trump pardoning. Now, what Trump is doing is he's trying to get those on the fence white people who's not sure if they want to support him, but they kind of liking what they see. Which is funny, because I like some things that I see, too. I do believe in closing up our borders. We are a first world country. We need to act like it. We are the only country who just let people run in and run out and run rampant within our country. We don't need sanctuary cities. We need to make sure people are getting here legally. Now, when I say illegal immigrants, I do not include refugees in that, because if we decide we want to let refugees in for whatever political reason we may have, then those people don't need to be treated like illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants need to be vetted, because if you're already here, you're already here. Let's vet you now. We need to vet you and make sure you're not committing no crime. We need to vet you and make sure you're helping to build a peaceful and well society in your neighborhood. And if you are, then go ahead and we can file some paperwork and let you go ahead and stay. We need to have expedited paperwork for these people. Somebody that's been here for 30 years and been contributing to society do not need to be getting deported. What needs to happen is we need to start vetting these people and finding out what have they done to help improve society. And if they're out here improving society, making America a better place, then we need to let them people stay. Anybody that's not need to go. If you're an illegal immigrant and you're not helping improve America in any way, shape, or form, you gotta go. If you're not working, you're not paying taxes, you're not doing whatever you need to do to make your community better, then you need to go as an illegal immigrant. If you're a legal immigrant, go ahead and stay. Dreamers, they need to stay. Dreamers and refugees, I think they should be able to stay because with dreamers, they were too young to make the decision to come over here. Some of these dreamers be 15, 16. Where the fuck they gonna go? They never been to where their mother is from, so how you just gonna send them back? They don't know how to connect with their family, and they probably don't speak the native tongue. So dreamers, again, we can vet them if we want to, though. You know what I mean? If you want to say, hey, we gonna keep the ones that ain't committing crimes, the ones that's going to school, the ones that's whatever the case may be, help better in their community, then so be it. But y'all people need to start getting your paperwork right, because y'all been here too long to not have your paperwork straight. I get y'all don't want to ring the alarm and get yourselves deported, but we need to have a system that doesn't allow that kind of stuff to happen, because we need to shore up our borders and act like a first world country. We do need to have universal health care. We need to act like a first world country. We don't need to be giving up our guns. We need to act like we are America. because America is built on guns. I'm not even gonna lie to you. No other country is built like we are when it comes to violence, guns, things of that nature. And I'm not interested in giving up my guns. I am a legal gun owner. I have no interest on giving up any of my guns. I have a rifle, pistol, all that stuff. Getting ready to get a shotgun, stuff like that. So I'm not interested in giving up my guns. So that's a non-negotiable for me. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, things of that nature. The First Amendment, I fully protect that, whether I agree with what you say or not. We have to protect that. I know y'all don't like when people talk bad about black people and y'all want everything to happen to them and this, that, and the third. We have to protect the First Amendment or it will become very dangerous for black people. Mark my word, I will break that down in a later day. So Trump with all these symbolic pardons, y'all can drink the Kool-Aid if you want. At the end of the day, anybody that gets out, I want people getting out of jail. That's what I want. I want motherfuckers who's alive reaping the benefits of these pardons and these commuting sentences. I want people that's alive. I'm sorry, Jack Johnson is dead. Muhammad Ali got his conviction overturned in 1971 through the Supreme Court. We don't need to be convicting dead people. We need to be, pardoning dead people. We don't need to be commuting sentences for dead people. We got the one lady out when Kim Kardashian went to go visit with Trump, which is a good thing. That's a person getting out of jail and not, in a system where they was over sentenced. She pleaded guilty, so they commuted her sentence. What the difference between commuting and pardoning? So, commuting means the person is guilty, but they were sentenced for too long, so what we're going to do is end their sentence at whatever rate we're at now. So if we're at 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that's the time they serve, they're done. We feel like that's enough time served for that crime. Pardoning means this person didn't commit the crime. This person should not have been found guilty for this crime, so we're going to erase it in its totality as if it never existed. So that's the difference between commuting a sentence and pardoning someone. So Trump is doing that. Again, let's reap some benefits from that. Let's get some people that's alive out of jail that's been overly sentenced. Let's get some people that's been some political, like Assata Shakur. Maybe we need to be talking about getting her commuted. I know you keep saying she's a cop killer, but maybe we need to evaluate her whole case. I haven't broken it down yet. I've been told she's been falsely accused. She's innocent, so maybe we need to look at that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because she's out in Cuba living her life like it's golden. So, we need to maybe look into Assata Shakur situation. So, we need to look into all these things. Let's look at some people that's alive. I get y'all want to, we don't need, again, the overly grateful niggas. We don't need their approval. We don't need white supremacists' approval. So, that's something we need to really discuss. And lastly, let's talk about net neutrality. Okay, so the Supreme Court decided to go ahead and repeal the laws that Obama put in place for net neutrality. Here's the definition of net neutrality, because I feel like it's important to give a tangible definition. All right, so the principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content and applications regardless of the source and without favors or blocking particular products or websites. Let me read that again for y'all. I'm even gonna if I could throw it on the screen, I will in the video. The principle that the internet service provider The principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content and applications regardless of the source and without favoring or blocking particular products or website. What that means is net neutrality means if I get on the internet, I can go to any website I want with the same amount of speed without being blocked, without being impeded by the internet provider. So, let me give y'all a broken down example because I tweeted and I posted some status on Facebook and stuff like this about it. Y'all best bet is to go ahead and catch me on Marv on Facebook or catch me on Twitter as it's Marv. That's your best bet to catch me because I feel like you'll be able to properly keep up with me because my Facebook I'm keeping towards my surroundings, people around me, stuff like that, building with people, stuff like that. I'm not interested in just letting everybody on my Facebook. I don't want a timeline full of nonsense anymore. I made a new Facebook, and I'm really over that phase in my life. I'm doing important things, I'm doing major things, and I'm handling business, and that's the type of stuff I want to see on my personal Facebook page. But on my Facebook page that you can That's how we can communicate in any way, shape, or form. I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody. All you gotta do is hit me up via there. So that Facebook page is It's Marv716, and then everything else is It's Marv _ It's Marv. I couldn't do _ It's Marv on there because you can't start with an underscore on Facebook, but whatever. Nonetheless, so with net neutrality, let me give you a breakdown example. Let me put it in layman's terms so everyone can understand it. I have a internet provider, Spectrum. Spectrum is my internet provider, right? So let's say Spectrum decides, hey, net neutrality is no longer a thing. We can do what we want now. Who's trying to get this money? And Facebook say, hey guys, I'm trying to get this money, or I'm trying to do this. So here's how we do it. So Facebook goes to Spectrum and say, hey, listen, we feel like we really can build and we can really become the biggest news platform in the planet, because right now Twitter is the biggest news platform. We feel like as Facebook we can become the biggest news platform, and the best way for us to do that is if we got to go ahead and make it harder for people to get to Twitter. We got to make Twitter slower. We have to slow it down, and eventually in the middle of the night we have to make sure it goes down, or people can pretty much not access it at certain points when we need them to not be able to access it. When breaking news happen, we want Twitter to be something that people can't access in this particular area, because we want them to come to Facebook and deal with the breaking news, because we're trying to do our Facebook news thing going on. And Time Warner could be like, okay, how much are you willing to invest in my company? How much are you looking to pay? What are you going to do to help us do this? Hey, we're going to give you X amount of dollars. This is how we're going to do it. So, we're going to have a liaison planning in your office to let you guys know when to slow it down, when to go back to normal, however the case may be, to make sure we stay ahead of the curve and we are the ones in the lead. With net neutrality gone, that can happen. Here's another example. Spectrum says, hey Marv, I noticed you do a lot of uploading. I noticed you upload a lot of large files for your podcast, and then you're on social media a lot. And I see you're always speaking out on social media. It seems like social media is your primary use for your internet provider. It seems like you use a lot of Netflix. I like that. I like how you use Netflix. That's great. You use Hulu, Amazon Prime to watch your TV for the most part. I don't see you watching a lot of live TV. At least we don't know, because we don't have your TV, but we have your internet, and we can tell that you watch a lot of Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, a lot of uploading, a lot of social media. We feel like you need our premium streaming package. That'll get you on the internet for all social media. That'll also let you do everything you need to do as far as watching Netflix and things of that nature without worrying about any delays and slow internet. So to add on that, because you have internet, you have access to the internet, so you're already paying for that. But to get these add-ons for this premium package, we're gonna need you to pay $50 more a month, buddy. Yeah, I know we said we're gonna give you unlimited internet for the current $50 you pay now, but based on your use, we feel like it's better for you to pay this extra $50. I know. Before you didn't have to pay anything, you was able to get fast internet or however you wanted. But we need to make sure we have a pecking order here, because your next door neighbors are a little older than you, and they're not using as much internet as you are. So why should we make them pay $50 when we can just charge them $10, $15 for the amount of internet that they use, and you can take care of that difference that we're losing out on? That's a reality. With net neutrality gone, that is a reality. Net neutrality, essentially in its name, is saying we're going to make the internet neutral. Everyone has to be on the same space. Everyone has to be on the same page. If you're paying for internet through whatever company, they're going to give you 100 megabytes per second or whatever, and you're going to be able to use those 100 megabytes per second on any website, any streaming service, whatever. With net neutrality gone, that can be a thing. Let me give you another example. I have AT&T phone service. If AT&T say, ooh, Marv, we see you popping on this. We see you be going in on this internet stuff. I see you on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook all day, always constantly talking about news, things of that nature. We got to charge you extra $10 for that, brother. Because social media is eating up our internet bandwidth, so we need to charge some people so we can increase the internet bandwidth so we can handle all our customers. Even though we were already handling it, and we charged you for it, but we see you're a little more active, so we're gonna need to charge you more, and we see, your next door neighbors, they're not as active, so we can charge them less now. So, I'm sorry, man, that's just nature of business. That's just the business. That is net neutrality. That is how net neutrality works. That is dangerous. You can't have companies deciding, what about more prominent people? People that have more followers than me, Sean King, Tariq Nasheed, people like that. What about when their internet provider said, we're going to need to charge you an extra $1,000 a month because we see you out here getting it? Isn't that a way to try and slow them down as far as their free speech, freedom of expression? Isn't it? What if I try and go to Sean King's YouTube page and they decide, or Tariq Nasheed YouTube page, and they say, in order for you to get access to this, it's going to take a little longer. Now, he can't effectively communicate information to the black community. What about when Fox News and CNN starts getting into this? And I want to go to Fox News to see what's going on the other side, because I like to listen to both sides. But CNN and these liberal companies decide, you know, we need to slow down people from accessing news from Fox. Fox, or the reverse, Fox like, hey, we need to slow down letting people access news from CNN. Now you can't get breaking news, major news from these major news outlets because net neutrality allows in favor of big business. Stop being sheeps. Stop being dumb. I thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate for y'all tuning in, man. I love it. I look forward to putting out more content for you guys. I'm going to be vlogging in different aspects. I'm going to have different little lineups via the vlog. So y'all definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be phenomenal. And I can't wait. In the meantime, man, make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we're going to get this joint rocking, all right? Thank y'all for joining for the first vlog. I'm out of here. It's Marv. Peace.